Let me know if this happened to you. Sometimes I just see a photo and it looks amazing and I'm wondering, why don't I take photos like this? Why do my photos look boring and safe and like anyone could have taken that photo, right?
So it feels like a really safe photo. It feels like a photo like, oh, let me take advantage of this situation. It's not impressive. It's not an impressive photo. There's nothing really interesting to say about it. What makes a good photo? I think a lot of people know the three things.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I invited Alex to critique your photos. Alex runs his YouTube channel Alex on Streets, which if you don't know about, you should definitely check out. If you want to submit your photos for the future critiques, make sure to check out the link in the description and submit your photo to About Photography subreddit. Thank you for watching and let's jump right into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I am here with a famous photographer from Japan, Alex Muñoz. Hello Alex.
Thank you, nice. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I'm good. Maybe I'm famous in Fukuoka at least. Right.
So today we're gonna look at the photographs people submitted to About Photography subreddit for the challenge. So let's take a look at this one.
This is already an amazing photo to start with. You did this on purpose, right? Showing this person's photo right away. Obviously, it's a great photo. I think it's amazing because what makes a good photo, I think a lot of people know the three things: lighting, composition, and subject. I don't think that the butts, the asses, are interesting. I don't necessarily like looking at that, but the subject of the paper, of the face of the paper covering the guy who's walking in the middle, it's like the two guys on the left and the right, they're like a door, or like that doorway kind of hinge in a room. It kind of has that effect, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. It almost makes me think like, oh, did he have to edit the position of the subjects at all or anything? It doesn't look like at all there's any trickery going on. What I also noticed is that a really nice little small thing, the car that's behind or in front of the guy on the left is yellow, and then the one on the right is also yellow. And so that's great because the only yellow is in the background there. And so it kind of makes it helps that the subjects in the foreground kind of fade away in your perception of what the focus is, so that those subjects in the foreground, they're not colorful, they're not distracting. So that way you see these two cars that are yellow, that lets you know you're on the street. Yellow is such a powerful street color, isn't it? So this is like a brilliant photo that I would be very proud of.
All right, moving on.
It's a great start.
We continue with the kind of similar theme.
This is interesting. It's interesting that the subject is doing what they're doing, like leaning over. So there's a sense of curiosity. So that's nice. That the subject is like, it's like just another person, boring person. They're not wearing anything particularly interesting. Their clothes aren't interesting or anything, but they're doing something interesting. So that's cool. I would say like the lighting is good. The lighting is good. The subject matter is good. But I think I would want maybe the little chair on the right side to be cropped out a little bit. It's just a tiny distraction. I guess it proves a point that there's more in the scene, that there's more to this area, but I think it's unnecessary. So I think cropping out that little sliver of the chair is good. You can see the entire person's body, like the ankles. It's not like cropped at the ankles or anything strange. So that's kind of cool. Everything's good. Yeah, it seems like a nice photo. This is a nice photo. It's nice. If it was me, I would have probably stood more to the left and not shot it straight on.
Okay. To see maybe a little more context, or? Yeah,
maybe have a little context because I feel like this is a flat photo. It's a little bit flat. So I wonder, because that chair is on the right side there, then that gives me a hint that there's things on the right side of the frame. So that means the photographer could have stood on the left side more at an angle, and you could have got the people on the table sitting down in the chairs, maybe people walking on a sidewalk on the right side.
Yeah.
Whatever's on the right side, you could have included, and then had this person on the left leaning over on the left side of the frame, and then what else is going on the right side of the frame. So it feels like a really safe photo. It feels like a photo like, oh, let me take advantage of this situation and take this very safe photo.
All right. So what do you think about this one?
This is nice. This is artistic. The lighting is nice. The subject matter is nice. The composition is nice. It's nice. Everything just makes sense with this photo. I wonder a little bit though about this black on the bottom of the frame here.
You think if it was edited later?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be that this is edited after the fact to blend the subject into the bottom of the frame. It has that feeling. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, the edge looks kind of like shadow, right? So I think it was more like dodged or burned, like dodged.
Yeah, like a dodge or burn.
To make it more like deep black.
I feel like they definitely want this artistic style of this deep contrasted black. And it's cool to have your own thing. Like, so if he has a body of work, if he or she has this photographer has a body of work that this blackness is very consistent across many photos, and this is not just their only photo that they do this, then it makes sense. They have this body of work where they have these dark black, jet black, with these two colors of red, black, and white, right? These three colors. Yeah. The person's face is the person's face has also been blackened, I feel.
I also like how the sign is kind of similar red, this one.
Yeah.
Do you mind the top right edge? It seems like the line is also parallel to the shadow.
I bet the photographer really struggled to make a decision about this, but I think it's very intentional. It seems like everything that was edited in this photo was very intentional. So I think that little bit in the top right left on purpose, probably for exactly what you said.
All right then. What do you think about this one?
Oh, this is great. This is great. This is the kind of photo that I really want to take when I go home to the US. The background is like so jet black, shadow dark, super highlight protected photo. That's interesting. I would like to see more background though. I want to see a little bit more of where they're at. But in terms of if this person has a body of work that's like this, that you have like multiple photos where you have the background just jet black like this, just the shadows are just completely dropped, then that's cool if they have a body of work that's like this. I like it. The person on the old guy on the left, on the right, very nice. A lady in the middle. It's two men on the left and the right, and the lady's in the middle. So that's interesting. And it's just something about old people, right? That they have like their skin is always so interesting. And
they also dress nice. Usually.
They dress nice too. Yeah, exactly. Especially here in Japan too as well. Older people dress nice. So I always try to catch older people that are out on the street. I think that's a really cool composition that was achieved. Like it's like the lady's coming out of his ear. Yeah. To me, this is a 5 out of 5 photo. This is great. So far, all these photos are really good. I came in with like 0 expectations. I'm pleasantly surprised. This is cool.
All right, moving on.
I think it's not impressive. It's not an impressive photo. There's nothing really interesting to say about it. The lighting is meh. It's not so good. It's interesting. It's a silhouette, but I don't think that it's very interesting. The subject matter is a guy on his camera or phone, and that's not interesting. And I don't know where this is. I don't know why this photo was taken. So it's hard for me to care about this photo. It's hard for me to relate to it. There's nothing relatable about this.
All right, maybe if there was a different gesture of the subject, or maybe more subjects.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we can see what's going on, right? But it's nothing particularly interesting.
Nothing particularly interesting. I like the sky. I'll say that. The sky is nice. If the lighting is good, it's because it's the sky that has the good lighting. But the foreground with the black, the silhouette and everything, I don't really find that interesting.
I can maybe see this in like if the composition with the tower behind was a little better, I can maybe see it as an ad, maybe if in some like travel magazine or something like that.
Yeah. This could be
visit this city.
Yeah, this could be like a travel advertisement photo.
If there was a couple, it could be with the lighting. It could be like a nice scenery for like a romantic kind of picture, I guess.
Like
all right then, moving on.
I like the subjects. This is nice. This is relatable to me, especially as a father, and to you as well, I think, right? Children, father, son. This is beautiful. I wonder if these people got this photo by chance, could get this photo. I bet that they would love this photo. This father would love if he had this photo of himself.
Yeah, I think the photo is called Fatherhood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was just yesterday talking with the photographer, and he said he pre-focused on that to that space and then just waited till
and fired away.
Yeah. And that he got a lot of like expressions, but you know, to catch this calm expression on a attraction like this, it's interesting.
It is. This is very interesting. It's not normally the kind of situation where a son would be like laying his head down on the father, unless he's like really scared or something. But he doesn't look scared. He looks really happy. He looks relaxed, but they're on this crazy ride. The father looks really nurturing. And I love this. Just talking about the father and the son and the subject is enough. But then the lighting is great. The colors are great. The editing is very simple and not overly done.
And do you
just
mind
very
the crop?
Classy. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. There could be more, but I think that it's also maybe it's less distracting. So if there was significant crop, I respect it because the focus should be on these chains, these leading lines down to the subject, this beautiful sky, the yellow and the nice green pastel kind of colors. I love this photo. I love this photo.
Yeah, it's relatable.
This is maybe my favorite photo so far. Wow.
All right, moving on.
Holy. It's very filmic. If this wasn't on film, it's very filmic. The subjects are really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boys. 6. They're obviously doing something. They're looking off into the distance of something that's going on. So I think the subjects are solid. I wish that one of the boys was looking towards the camera though. That we had something. Okay, there's one boy on the left that's looking kind of towards the camera. But I wish that one of them, the 3 in the front here, were looking towards the camera. Or towards us in our direction. That way we have a face, because we don't have any faces, and that bothers me sometimes, that we just see backs, and that sometimes it bothers me. So I wish we had a face that was looking our direction, and on every other boy, every other subject is looking, where they're looking. But just one boy, one moment. And sometimes when this happens, kind of situation happens where people are looking at something, somebody's looking at in one direction, I want them to look at me, then I'll make like a little sound effect, I'll snap my fingers, I'll stomp my feet, I'll make some like sound. That way, somebody looks at me in my direction if I want that eye contact. So I think that's what's missing from this photo is a little bit of eye contact or face. But I think it's cool. I think it's nice. I think it's kind of a safe photo. Yeah, this is a photo I would take and I would share, but it wouldn't be my best work. It wouldn't be my best photo.
So when I first saw this picture, it had this vibe of, you see private property, trespass, and then you see someone like trespassing, right? So it had this vibe. And then I realized they probably, when I saw the people in the background probably playing like football or something like that, I realized that those people didn't trespass, right? They just got there to watch some kind of match. When you look closely, you realize they got there from the other side, not from the photographer's side. So that's my idea how this happened. Yeah. It was just they were playing on private property, something like football or whatever. Right. And then they sit there and watched. So it's not as strong photograph as it could have been had the situation been different, right? Not saying that's something a photographer could have like influence, right? But just my take. All right, moving on.
This is awesome. This is cool. This is almost like, is it real? Like, is this background real? I wonder how long the photographer had to stay here. This perfect situation. With this photo. The lighting is good. The subject matter is of course interesting. Composition wise, it's not interesting. It's just a flat photo. So I think it's a good photo, but it's missing that one extra element of more interesting composition. It's a flat photo that you look at for 2 seconds and you say, oh, cool, it's matched. Nice. Wow. I wonder how long it took. And then you keep scrolling or you look at the next photo. You turn the page or whatever.
Moving on.
Let me take a moment to look at this because maybe I'm missing something. The situation, the subject of the person in the front pushing the trees in a shopping cart in the middle of the road. I just never see that. You never really see that in Japan or the US. You don't really see this so often.
It's probably difficult to move those trees without car, right? And then this might be a situation when the person was just, parking at the other side of the street.
Yeah, there's a garden shop or something, right?
I mean, if the situation is that he was moving them to his home like that for, I don't know, half an hour, then right, that's like a funny situation. In that case, I would probably follow that person to take more shots
Right.
in
Yeah,
contrast
more-
with other interesting subjects, right?
Exactly. Just the main subject matter is not enough for this situation. There needs to be more.
I mean, when you
There
when you
needs-
see it for the first time, you're like, yeah, that's makes you smile a little bit. But then
Yeah,
to
I
make
mean,
it like a
yeah.
great photo, it would probably need something which you would pair that with. All right, moving on.
Okay, cool structure, cool lighting, but that is it. Subject far off in the distance. This is a very safe photo that you take. It's like the photographer stepped into this building for the first time and was impressed by the lighting inside of the building or outside of the building. It's like, oh wow, cool, nice lighting here. I've never been here before. This is cool. Let me take a photo. And this is kind of like a good memo photo that I would take. Like I would take this photo, but this wouldn't be the shot, you know what I mean, of this location. It would be the shot that lets me know, okay, now I'm warming up here and let me take a better photo, or let me just take this shot and then I'll come back here in the future and try to get a better photo in the future, using the architecture, using the light and the shadows that's in this situation. Yeah.
Would you want to have more subjects or bigger ones?
Bigger, yeah. You can have a one subject, but the subject needs to be bigger. Yeah, this is the urban landscape or architectural photography, and that's cool. So it's just, me as a street photographer that gets, like arm's length distance away from people. It's not my genre. To really comment on, I think, too much.
I think this could be on a wall of a restaurant inside that building.
Yeah, right.
Like
so
many like restaurants or buildings, they have that. They have like documenting its own history or its own take on its own thing, right? Another zebra here.
Oh, okay. Let me see what's going on. We have the zebra with the stripes. We have the shadow with the lines. We have a little gutter on the right with those lines, with the shadows and the lines. But the top right of the frame, it seems like this is like a restaurant, or it's a shop, it's a restaurant, it's a place that's closed for the day or what have you. So the top right of the frame is very unnecessary. But I see what the photographer is trying to do here. Of course, what's going on with the zebra and the lines and the shadow of the ground and the gutter and everything. So this is a really cool concept. You just got to take it to the next level.
Does it need this lady in the zebra dress from the previous photo to walk in?
yeah, exactly what this photo needs. To be walking in on the right side of the frame in the beam of the light right there, and then the main area where the light is kind of almost in the center of the frame, or to the right center, instead of where that stroller is or that wooden pedestal. You need a lady or someone leaning up against that pole with another striped pattern on them.
Or maybe like a kid, which would be in the eyesight of the zebra. Maybe like a kid staring back at the zebra.
It's a cool concept, but it feels a little dead. It's a little dead. It's a little bit like lifeless, which is an emotion. It's an emotion.
All right.
Artistic, very cool. Like this looks beautiful. This is nice. It's a very artistic photo. This is the kind of thing that I want to shoot more of. That I want to be more artistic, and this is the kind of photo that I am very jealous of. That this person was able to capture this photo. I can't really critique this based on my own style of street photography, because this is not my style of street photography, but this is something that I want to do more of. I love it. I love the electrical towers. I love that the guy is standing next to the electrical towers in the frame that looks like that he's a tower. I like the flowers are leading themselves down to him. The colors are so nice, and the bubbles in the water are there's so much texture to this photo.
This texture reminds me like a Starry Night.
Yeah,
the painting,
exactly.
Right? The stars.
Yeah.
How everything is kind of like wrapped around them. And that's because it's in the water, right? It's a flipped photo.
Yeah. Is that also like a fish?
I was just wondering if that's like a dead fish.
So a fish or like a plastic bag or something?
Yeah, I think it's like a plastic bag or something. So I kind of wish this trash wasn't there, which you honestly you can't influence that, right?
I like it. I kind of like it because it makes the photo a little bit less perfect. I think it adds a little bit of imperfectness, which is it's appreciated sometimes. We don't have to take these amazingly perfect photos all the time. Yeah, maybe that's just a plastic bag of trash, or it's a fish. Even worse, It could be a fish stuck in a plastic bag.
Yeah. Like
and
a dead
that's
fish.
really saying something. Yeah, a dead fish and stuck in a plastic bag. And that's really saying something then.
All right, moving on.
The lighting is amazing. Lighting's amazing. Subject matter, amazing. I wish that the boy on the left, his feet were more in frame, unfortunately. The feet got cropped a little bit, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. The lighting is amazing. The subject matter is amazing. The timing is amazing. This is not a safe photo. This is a photo that took skill. This is a photo that took a little bit of bravery on the photographer's part.
And more photos than just one, right? Probably.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Like, there could be like older guys on the street that say, "Hey, don't take photos of the kids" or whatever.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. If the person that's traveled is a traveler and they don't live here, then there's a little bit of bravery going on to take photos of kids, because you never know the society, how they react to strangers taking photos of kids.
But South America is usually more chill, isn't it?
It is. It is. It should be. In Asia, it's not so chill to do that. Take photos of kids.
I mean,
I don't personally,
like compared to States.
Yeah, compared to the States too. I think in the U.S. it's really frowned upon to take photos of children, candidly, without permission. You're going to get in big trouble, I think, with some parents. In Japan, I don't take photos of kids so often, unless, of course, it's a situation like this going on. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to take the photo. If this was in Japan, if these kids were Japanese and this was in Japan, I would absolutely take this photo, and I'd risk getting in trouble, getting beat up to take this photo. Absolutely. So I love this. This is cool. I love the boy on the right. He's smiling. He's like, "Where's the ball going?" He hit the ball. That's cool. The boy on the left, he's getting ready to play off the ball too as well.
I love the birds as well, because they kind of like
the birds.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
They're all black.
Yeah.
They kind of like.
Yeah. This is a photo to be proud of.
If I'm being like nitpicky, I would love to see the same exposure of the face on the right boy as the left boy has the same exposure, so we can see his face expression. But other than that, beautiful photo. All right, moving on.
I like this because the lighting is nice. The subject is nice in the bottom right. The composition is nice. The highlights are just a little bit blown, but I like that sometimes. We have the highlights a little bit blown because it adds a little bit of character to the lighting, that the lighting is strong. This is a very strongly lit scene. I think it's amazing. I like the roofs that they have the leading lines on the top of the roofs there, and you see the sky. So there's a lot of context to this photo of the ground level, the mid-level with the buildings and the cross with Jesus being lit, only half, like the top half is lit, but the bottom half isn't. You have this very dynamic lighting. The sky has clouds in it, so that's the sky. It's unmistakable, right? The person's got a bike on with this cool hat. This is there's not much to say. That I wish we can have more. The lens, if this was a wider photo, it would have been nice to see more of the bike. It would be nice to see more of the bike, more of the ground if possible. So I don't know what lens this was shot with, a 35 maybe or a 28. But what if it was shot with a 24 or like a 21? I wonder how that would look.
What I love about this approach to the scene is that basically the cross is what made the shot, and then you get the same feeling like when you enter a church or something. Everything is positioned above and looking down on you, right? So you get this feeling of being kind of small, being kind of crushed with this all like godness thing. The point of view from the photographer, he was probably a little more not crunching, but a little more from the bottom, shooting up, and this makes very similar feel like I would get when I enter a church. That's what I like about it. If it was shot from the regular point of view, it wouldn't probably have same impact as it has on me. Not sure how you feel about that.
No, 100%. That's amazing. That's a good point. Because if you do like your almost flatter eye level, one thing I wish, the only thing I wish that could be different about this photo is if the guy was facing towards the camera, was facing towards the photographer, facing towards us. And that way we get less of a sense that the person's going away and more coming forward. It's just a preference.
All right, next shot.
Interesting. Colors are nice. The colors are nice. The lighting's okay and the colors are nice. The subject matter is okay, just okay. But the lighting is nice and the colors are nice.
Maybe if it was your dog or something like that.
If this was my dog, I would feel something about this, but I don't feel anything about this dog and these people.
Do you take pictures of
But
dogs?
the colors are nice. Yeah.
What is it that makes dog picture
I have
work?
one right here. I think it's like, do you like dogs? I love dogs. I think everyone just loves dogs. Like humans like dogs. I think we just like dogs because it's part of our like history of humanity. We grew up with dogs. So I take photos like this with this guy's on the motorcycle with the dog and everything. And that's cool. I'm fascinated by it. I like it. But I think the composition is not interesting. It's safe. It's a safe photo. It could be more. There could be more.
I think a lot of dog pictures, when you see them, they either have like a stronger juxtaposition, like if you know the Elliot Erwitt dogs, right? When they stand next to the legs of their owners, or they have a role which usually is like a human role, like you just showed. A dog riding a motorcycle. That's not usually what dogs do in their free time.
Right. Yeah.
And this is just a dog. Yeah.
The dog is just walking. So nothing particularly interesting about this dog.
What do you think about this one?
This is a nice portrait. I like this. But I feel that the lighting on the subject, I wonder if he had been sitting on the right side, if the lighting would have been stronger, because it seems like the sun is on the left and the right side of the frame has a stronger light on the right side. So if he had been sitting on the other side of the bench, I think the lighting would have been better for the subject's face and hair in general.
But that's usually not what people do, right? When they travel, they just sit so they don't have the sun into their face, right?
Right.
So it might be difficult to get him there.
It seems as though that this was posed. In my opinion, it seems like this was posed. It seems that way. Like, let me take your photo.
If it was posed, wouldn't it be like nicer to pose him on the other side?
Yes. So I think like the guy, I think he's got a little smile on his face, which probably means that he's feeling a little shy about having his photo taken. If so, I would have kind of analyzed the lighting of the scene and said, hey, stand in the light or sit in the light over here. And the left side of the frame is busier too with these chairs and this console, ATM console or like a video game or whatever this is. The left side of the frame is really busier and the right is not. And that's where the good lighting is also. So it would have been more symmetrical also.
I don't think this was posed, but you're right. But I think the lighting and the colors and everything, it makes it feel like it could have been taken like during 80s or something like that. It feels really you can't really tell. Even those machines feel like really old. And the chairs. When you have leather chairs, you don't really
the colors
see
are
that
nice.
often. Yeah.
Looks like it was shot on film. Seems like it, but it seems like maybe the photo was still edited a little bit in the shadows.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on a little closer.
Yeah, closer to home. This is Japan. This is not an interesting photo, unfortunately. This is a photo that I could literally step outside my door and take anytime I want. And that's not interesting. And it's unfortunate. Whoever took the photo, they could be Japanese, they could be non-Japanese. It doesn't matter, but it feels like a photo that is taken by someone purely because they're in Japan. And look at how Japanese this scene is. Look at this arcade machine, gacha arcade machine. Look at all the the writing and the colors are interesting because the cone on the left is matching to the machine. So I would say colors wise, the colors are nice. Lighting is nothing special, and the subject matter and the composition are just nothing. There's nothing here. And it feels like a very safe photo, and it feels like a photo that anyone can take. There's no real skill involved. And this is the kind of photo that I used to take for like 2 years. I would just take nothing but this kind of photo when I was when I first got to Japan. Now, I've been taking photos in Japan for about 7 years now. So for the first couple of years, I would have taken this photo for like every week, every month. I would have taken this kind of photo. Just kind of warming up, getting acclimated to the situation and like getting used to my environment and getting over it. And now I take photos that have more purpose. And this photo doesn't have enough purpose, unfortunately.
And I have to say that your guess was like a spot on, because this is my photo from the holiday I was spending in Japan. And even so, you just say, you know, anyone can take photo like this when you tourist in Tokyo.
Sure.
And you see someone dressed in a suit, like, you know, just coming from the corporate job or from something like that, standing in front of the vending machine that you can gamble to win a sushi keychain.
Yeah, it's the most Japanese thing you can find.
This is like unreal to me, right? And then he was kind of pissed because it didn't really work like he wanted, right? Because this was some kind of like a claw machine you would have to get it. And then I was like, why is this man? Why does he want to get a sushi keychain you could buy for literally like, I don't know, 500 yens anywhere else? Like,
exactly.
It was my...
Probably at a store across the street.
It was probably my
this.
Obsession with, or my fascination with the people's obsession of arcades in Japan.
Yeah, I took a lot of photos of inside of arcades as well, and eventually I got kicked out. I went in and I took photos too much that they learned me. So they, you're that guy. We're watching you.
So there is like Alex Law now in Fukuoka.
So I basically I stopped taking photos in arcades years and years ago because I also wanted to play the games. So I didn't want to like be banned from playing the game. You know what I mean? Because the workers were like, oh, we know who you are. And
so this is something I learned. I did the previous conversation with Alex Kilby, which if you have not watched it, anyone who is watching this now, you should go ahead and watch it after you finish this video. So he told me one thing that really made me think, and it was people expect to photograph interesting subject, or the subject they think is interesting, and they expect an interesting photo to be a result. Right. And for me, this was like super interesting scene. So as someone who is experienced with taking photo with like people trying to win using the claw machines or other arcades, what do you think would you do in this kind of situation if you want to capture this scene more, in a more interesting way?
Okay. I can tell you right away. So the machine on the right, the smaller one, right? Mm-hmm. That's also clear. That's also translucent. So I would go on the right where the mat is, that red mat, and I would shoot through that smaller machine to get the guy's face and the claw in frame. Mm-hmm. And get a little bit of foreground separation with the toys and everything like that. And it also seems like that is nicer, perhaps because the lighting. It seems like the sun or the light is coming from the left side of the frame, so it seems like you'd get the face lit nicely because you'd have the electronic lights, you'd have the light bulbs lighting the right side of his face, and then you'd have the left side of his face being lit by the sun. So I think it could work like that. The question is how strong, because those small machines on the right like that, that plastic is really thick, and I try to shoot through those often, and sometimes that plastic is too thick for the photo to come out nice. Okay. But the plastic that's on the machine that the guy is on, that's very easy to shoot through. So that would be something I'd test out. I'd look at it before I even put the camera up. I would just look through that plastic to just see how thick that plastic is, to see if the photo would come out nice enough.
Oh, that's interesting. Interesting take.
Yeah.
From
or
someone
at least
experienced
just shoot it from the
doing this kind of.
For someone that shot this photo hundreds of times. So don't take it too personally, because like I said, I was taking those photos a lot.
All right, moving on to the last picture.
This is mine. This is my photo. This is my photo. I'm gonna critique my photo here. I think a lot of people like this photo. I got it doesn't matter, but I got thousands of likes on this photo, and a lot of people commented. A lot of people like this photo. But I'm gonna be really brutal with my own photo here. Okay, I liked it. I posted it. I posted this photo because the colors worked. The colors matched. The girl has the blue jeans with the blue sky in the middle there. She's looking up at the light, which is great timing. The lady on the left, she is looking down towards me, taking the photo. So I got her eye contact looking at me, but it's in a very strange eye contact perspective, which I liked. And she's well lit. And then you got the girl on the right too as well. And she looks almost shy, but happily embarrassed from what I can tell about me taking a photo of her as well. So it seemed like this is a curious/friendly photo reaction. That's why I took it. And I like that there's three girls, that there's composition. You can see the background. You're in the city. They're crossing the corner. So there's action going on. They're crossing this corner. They're going around the corner and they're doing something, right? She's holding her phone, but she's not looking at her phone, the one on the left. She's not looking down at her phone. Thank God. That would have ruined the photo. I wouldn't have posted it if she was looking down at her phone. I'd just, trash, looking at her phone. Okay, now I'm going to rip it apart. This is what I'm so tired of this. And I know people are going to have so many different opinions, but they're wearing masks. And this is unfortunate about the times here in Japan. They're wearing masks. If you don't like that this photo, that the girls are wearing masks, I do not recommend coming to Japan for the next couple of years still. Masks are not going away in Japan.
But it wasn't as rare as like elsewhere, right? Even before Corona, people were wearing masks.
Exactly. So I think that people also need to understand about the mask culture in Japan has always been here. And people wear masks. If before coronavirus, if you went out to like Shibuya Crossing, the most busiest pedestrian crosswalk in Japan, the famous one, everybody knows, right? Shibuya Crossing, right? You go there before, so in 2019, right? I would say about like 20 to 30% of people are wearing masks easily 20 to 30%. Now, of course, in Shibuya Crossing, 99% in the middle of the daytime, at least. Maybe at night, people take their masks off, which is why I'm glad the winter is over and we're in spring now, which means I can shoot at night more now without being freezing cold. So now I'm going to shoot more at night, and I'm going to be able to shoot people without masks as much. So I hate this photo because they are wearing masks. I've taken so many photos of people that because they're wearing, and not because they're wearing masks, but I've taken so many photos of people wearing masks. I'm so tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm going home to the US. A big reason is I want a psychological break from wearing masks and coronavirus situation here in Japan in particular. I'm not anti-mask. Don't get it wrong. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not an anti-mask masker. I'm not like a COVID is fake kind of person. I'm very middle of the road in terms of politics, in terms of coronavirus prevention and vaccines, all that bullshit, right? I'm very middle of the road, and my opinion changes daily depending on the situation.
So it's more aesthetics things.
Yeah. So I don't like that they're wearing masks. Another thing is that I wish that they were doing more than just walking, that there was more going on to this photo than just them walking around the corner. They are doing something. They are walking around the corner. That is a thing that they are doing. But the girl on the right, she's holding her ear or her hair as she's kind of shy, like, oh, taking a photo. So she's got that going on. The girl is looking up and stuff. But they are just doing what every Japanese person does. There's nothing strange about this situation. There's nothing unique about this situation. So I don't like this photo because it's not unique enough. But I like it for all the other aspects I said. So what do you think about this? Rip it apart. Tell me.
I mean, before you said so, I don't really mind the masks. There is even like I don't know if you saw it, but there is a Cartier-Bresson has this photo of a man like 1950s-ish in China, and he's having a face mask. So that's not like invention of last two years, right? And especially in Japan, you could have taken this photo 10 years ago, and
easily.
It could have been like this, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering
it's just because we all know that everybody's wearing masks in Japan.
If the girl on the right had the same head position as the middle girl, they would both be looking up, and the girl on the left is like leading them. She looks like very strict. So it kind of feels like not like a religious group, but she's looking up like the light is coming to her face, like kind of be enlightened. And if the other one was like that, they would look like some of group, and then the leader is kind of like strict, like looking like, what are you doing?
I think that's their mother. I think that's their mother.
So
I think so.
For me, the smiling girl gives it away a little bit, because the left one seems it's candid, and then the middle one seems she doesn't know, and then the right one knows about you and she reacted, because that's not how she walks around like this, right? So
yeah, she's not going to be walking around like that all day, right?
But other than that, I like the colors. I like there are 3, because it always looks better than just 2 or 4. There is maybe Tokyo Tower in the background, but it's too. Oh yeah, too far.
That's a Fukuoka tower.
Okay. All right.
One of them. There's a few. There's a few, but that's one of them.
Yeah, and then the lighting is interesting. They are standing under some kind of, and the sun goes through. I like how the faces are lit. Yeah, just the thing I said with the right one.
And I didn't camp for this photo, by the way. I didn't wait here for the right subject to come along. This was completely me walking by.
Like a snap, just a quick snap.
It was a quick snap. I knew that this lighting was going to be interesting. So as I was approaching, I slowed down as the subjects were coming towards the light. So I didn't want to get there. I didn't want to get there before they did and just stand there waiting for them to take the photo. It would have ruined the situation. So oftentimes what I do is when I see a nice lighting situation in front of me, I'll slow down or I'll speed up and I'll try to catch the right timing. And this was the only photo I took. I didn't take rapid fire. I shot this on my Ricoh GR3 with the 28mm. And this was the only photo I took. I took snap focus, just boom.
Oh, okay.
Right timing, got it, walked away. That was very nice. So I was very satisfied about that. All
right. So thank you, Alex, for joining me today. It was a very interesting conversation.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. It was fun. I think a majority of the photos were really quite good, especially a lot of the ones in the beginning. Like the first 4 were really nice. And then there was especially the artistic one of the one in India, the flowers and everything. That was fantastic.
So thank you. And if you guys liked what you saw, make sure to check out Alex's YouTube channel. He goes with Alex on the Streets.
Yeah, Alex on Streets on Instagram and YouTube.
Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this critique. If you want to join a critique in the future, make sure to submit your photo to About Photography subreddit. You can find all the links in the description. Also, if you like this critique, you must watch this video where I talk with Alex Kilby from The Photographic Eye and we critique your photos. Thank you for watching and see you next time.